Unfortunately, today, the promise of a dream has turned into a nightmare for many individuals with student loans. It's an injustice to begin one's adult life this way. Therefore, if elected, I will implement a student loan forgiveness plan to cancel all student loan debts. Therefore, if re-elected, I will implement a student loan forgiveness plan to cancel all student loan debts. One thing is very clear in terms of policy for affirming America's commitment to energy independence. We can only increase production if we know exactly what our resources are. We must therefore conduct a detailed survey of our nation's reserves and open these reserves to exploration. We cannot continue to have a society with disparate numbers of women and minorities in the workplace, especially for higher positions. Our society owes them a hand up. It's for this reason that the government should actively enforce affirmative action in private companies.
Hello. Our field operations team, in connection with our intelligence department, has the means to trigger a bomb scare somewhere along the campaign trail of your Republican opponent. You will find our proposal terms included in our next message. If you agree, the operation will be executed immediately. You will be informed of its results through the press, since we can have no contact with the client who ordered the operation after the fact, in order to ensure their anonymity. Goodbye.
Let me start off by saying no human beings are able to survive properly without education. The very foundation of our society and the future of our nation depend on quality education. We have a responsibility to provide free education to all individuals in our society, from primary school to higher education, including undocumented non-citizens. All children deserve the best. This is especially true for any child with a disability. We can't deprive these kids of the educational activities they need to be able to thrive. We must increase funding for their programs because it's currently insufficient and it's hurting the education of countless kids.
Good evening and welcome to the second U.S. presidential debate. The rules here are simple. Both candidates will take turns addressing key issues that I will ask them. Obviously, the time allowed for each candidate will be strictly balanced. We have also implemented a new instant polling system, which will assess the impact of each candidate's responses on viewers and somewhat predict the winner of tonight's debate. Society has been intensely debating issues related to the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender communities. Where do you stand on these issues?
Even now, in the 21st century, the prejudices and challenges of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transsexual community face are enormous. If I win this re-election, I shall allocate significant funding to provide solutions to LGBT priority issues. We must continue to address HIV/AIDS prevention and education, and bullying and teen suicide prevention.
Thank you. Let us return to our other candidate. What are your views regarding this subject?
This is a very serious topic, and I respect the feelings of people who disagree with me, but my view is that marriage itself can only be a relationship between a man and a woman. Therefore, I believe our marriage laws should reflect this.
Thank you. Now, let's address the next issue. Robust individual rights are a cornerstone of our country and its history. What major issues would you like to highlight here today on the question of individual rights?
The Second Amendment of our Constitution rightfully established the right of the people to keep and bear arms. Most adults that legally carry a concealed handgun are law-abiding citizens that do not misuse their firearms. If elected, I will fully defend their right to continue doing so.
Thank you. Now it's your turn. What are your views on this subject?
Today, there are literally thousands of different healthcare organizations involved in collecting and paying out all of our healthcare costs. Our system is mired in overhead and administrative costs, so I propose a single-payer system. It's more efficient and organized, and it would save important resources from being wasted.
Thank you. Now, let's address the next issue. If I were to ask you about your views concerning how much power the states should have vis-a-vis the federal government, what would be your answer?
No one, man or woman, legal or undocumented, heterosexual or homosexual, should be denied protections against domestic abuse or sexual violence. Many vulnerable individuals, especially women, will suffer serious violence if we do not reauthorize this essential act to combat the scourge of intimate violence in our society.
Very well. Now it's your turn. What are your views on this subject?
I'm here to defend the rights of all freedom-loving Americans. We do not want a big brother system controlling our lives. This country was founded on a premise of state autonomy, and it's time to redirect much of our healthcare authority back to the state level where it belongs.
Thank you both. We've reached the end of our debate. In closing, we will hear one final statement from each of our candidates, including perhaps a final promise.
I think today's world consists of a complex mire of existing and emerging nuclear weapons states, and the threats are far too ominous, and our technology has fallen dangerously behind. Now, fully funding missile defense is nothing but one of the fundamental constitutional duties of any president of the United States.
Research has shown the great impact of early experiences on a child's brain. They impact a child's future success, and this is why I would be ready to invest $10 billion in a program for the very young children, so that they can have access to the quality education that they deserve.
In closing, I would like to thank you both for maintaining a civil discourse throughout this debate. I hope that our viewers were able to get a clearer picture of each candidate. It seems our instant survey system has meanwhile designated a winner for our debate this evening, something that may influence the results of the election this November 6th. Good night, everyone.
Do you really believe that somebody can live on a salary that pays $7.25 an hour? This is way too meager for anyone to live on. It is a question of social justice. I believe the government should protect our low-income workers who work just as hard as anyone else.
Hello. I just wanted to tell you that the statements you've made during your campaign really made an impact on me. I support your candidacy, and I'm going to do what I can to help you win the election. I'm going to make a donation right away to a PAC that supports you. Good luck.
Pro-choice does not mean pro-abortion. The decision to have an abortion will always be a most difficult one. Laws against abortion don't stop abortion. They simply make it less safe and even fatal. Moreover, I believe it's the woman that needs to make the difficult decision and not the guy.
Hello. I already made a small donation to your campaign, but now I'd like to do more. Since I'm convinced you are the person for the job, my friends and colleagues also feel that you're the candidate who best serves our interests. Check your bank account. A wire transfer will arrive soon. Bye.
Good evening, and welcome to the third and final U.S. presidential debate of the 2012 campaign season. The rules here are simple. Both candidates will take turns addressing key issues that I will ask them. Obviously, the time allowed for each candidate will be strictly balanced. We have also implemented a new instant polling system, which will assess the impact of each candidate's responses on viewers and somewhat predict. Many people express concern about terrorism, not only on U.S. soil, but around the world. And what is the best way for the U.S. to fight sophisticated terrorist groups? What is your message to them?
I am determined to prevent Iran from developing a nuclear weapon. We must succeed in deterring another catastrophic war. The region has been ravaged incessantly, and we must use sanctions in order to achieve peace and security in the region. It's time for peace.
Thank you. Let us return to our other candidate. What are your views regarding this subject?
Detaining terrorists in Guantanamo Bay is absolutely needed to protect our nation now when we face unprecedented threats from Al-Qaeda and other terrorist groups. If I'm elected, I want to stand before the American people and say, I'm doing everything I can do to protect you.
Thank you. Now, let's address the next issue. I think everyone agrees on the importance of a good education and how this impacts our nation's future. What are your proposals regarding the subject of education?
What we need to do, without delay, is to restore America to a path of robust economic growth. This can't be done without balancing the budget. One of my proposals is to reduce the annual federal budget by $20 billion by cutting non-security discretionary spending by 5%.
Thank you. Now it's your turn. What are your views on this subject?
We must commit to improving education, especially in math and science, if we want our nation to remain a powerful competitor against China and India. Moreover, know-how in the hard sciences ensures that our military will always have the most advanced and powerful weapons in the world at their disposal.
Thank you. Now let's address the next issue. There is currently a heated debate about environmental issues and regulations. What can you tell the American public about what you would do as president concerning the environment?
Why would any nation want to remain shackled to high oil prices? This only causes havoc to our economy. We have the brain power and technology to pave the way to clean wind and solar energy. We must invest more in green energy solutions for our future.
Very well. Now it's your turn. What are your views on this subject?
What we need to do, without delay, is to restore America to a path of robust economic growth. This can't be done without balancing the budget. One of my proposals is to reduce the annual federal budget by $20 billion by cutting non-security discretionary spending by 5%.
Thank you both. We've reached the end of our debate. In closing, we will hear one final statement from each of our candidates, including perhaps a final promise.
My tax reform plan would offer deep tax cuts to companies across America. I'd slash corporate tax rates by 30%. With a lighter tax burden, companies can operate in a more competitive manner. This facilitates growth, generating more profit, and the need to hire more people in the process.
Americans have a leading role to play regarding climate change and greenhouse gas issues. Carbon dioxide emissions in the United States increased more than 10% between 1990 and 2010. We must put a stop to this environmental disaster and impose mandatory controls on such emissions.
In closing, I would like to thank you both for maintaining a civil discourse throughout this debate. I hope that our viewers were able to get a clearer picture of each candidate. It seems our instant survey system has meanwhile designated a winner for our debate this evening, something that may influence the results of the election this November 6th. Good night, everyone. I'm thankful for everything our military has done for us. However, I feel military recruiters should have no access to kids in our public schools. Kids are too young and they're very easily manipulated. Often, they aren't even ready to join and should not be pressed for any such decision.
Hello again. Your campaign is truly impressive, and I'm very pleased with the promises you've made that benefit my lobby. I hope you win. Once again, I'm going to outdo myself and send you a huge amount of money. And please, don't tell my wife how much I'm giving. She'd kill me. Bye.
We need change to rebuild the America we love.
I approve this message.
Did you know that nearly half of U.S. undergrad students depend on community colleges for their education? Now, even though they're a cornerstone of our higher education system, our community colleges are in bad need of reform. I pledge them a significant investment if I'm reelected.
You will never get another cent from me. Your campaign is a disgrace, and it threatens my personal interests. I will do everything in my power to keep you out of the White House. Adios.
What a lot of people don't know is that private companies have learned how to safely manage prisons with fewer workers than state-operated prisons. This would save us an enormous amount of resources that could be better employed in combating crime, and I believe it's a great solution for our nation.
Hello. I just wanted to tell you that the campaign statements you've made have really made an impact on me. I support your candidacy, and I'm going to do what I can to help you win the election. I'm going to make a donation right away to a PAC that supports you. Good luck.
Good evening, all. Now, although the goal of the No Child Left Behind policy was lofty, many of our schools are not reaching their objectives for very complex reasons. We must recognize, however, that we can combine greater freedom with greater accountability, and this is what I propose for our nation. Let's face it, most illegal immigrants would make good American citizens. They have come here searching for the land of opportunity. I propose that they be granted citizenship if they meet certain important requirements, such as paying their taxes, learning English, and working in a steady job for a number of years. Thank you, and God bless you all. Good evening, all. We cannot penalize American families with heavy taxes. Americans work hard and they deserve to keep their hard-earned money. They need it for their children, and that's why I propose tripling the current personal tax deduction for each child in every family. Thank you, and God bless you all. Can anything be more important than preserving our planet and our natural resources for future generations? It's for this reason that we must seriously invest in anti-global warming programs. We have an obligatory duty to press everyone to use clean energy and to build sustainable landscape.
Hello. I already made a small donation to your campaign, but now I'd like to do more since I'm convinced that you're the person for the job. My friends and colleagues also feel that you're the candidate who best serves our interests. So check your bank account. There's a wire transfer that will arrive soon. Goodbye.
Republicans will destroy our environment, our rivers, and our clean air.
I approve this message. With your vote, I will defend your
approve.
Moving America forward.
I approve this.
Americans reap many benefits from government infrastructure and all programs sponsored by their government. However, balancing the budget is a top priority for our nation. So instead of eliminating many needed services and programs, I propose we take the opposite approach and increase individual income taxes.
Hello again. Your campaign is truly impressive, and I'm very pleased with the promises you've made that benefit my lobby. I hope you win. Once again, I'm going to outdo myself and send you a huge amount of money. Please don't tell my wife how much I'm giving. She'd kill me. Anyway, goodbye.
A president to defend the rights of Native Americans, working towards a brighter future of justice and prosperity.
I approve this. If Americans want jobs, health care, and civil rights, I'm their president.
If Republicans have to choose between greedy corporations and
As president, I will give my utmost attention to improving the performance of our nation's schools. America will lose its status of a world leader if it does not invest in making our schools the best in the world. Education means nothing without effectiveness.
Hi, I just wanted to tell you that you're doing a great job. Our party's supporters were...
Republicans don't care about people. They care about profits.
I approve this message.
Good evening, all.
Foreclosures not only hurt the people losing their homes, they also hurt those trying to sell their homes by driving down home values. The government has a very important role to play, and I believe that we can provide much needed relief to homeowners, and I think we must act right away to prevent even more foreclosures. I will always stand up for those who have served this country. I will make great efforts to expand and improve benefits for veterans and their families. This includes access to health care, as well as the education and job opportunities they deserve when they return home.
Thank you, and God bless you all. America can very well remain the world's strongest military, but it must operate in a more efficient manner, adapted to our current budget crisis. Our military personnel costs are simply unsustainable. This is why I propose to reduce the number of our troops by 100,000 in the next 5 years. Pro-choice does not mean pro-abortion. The decision to have an abortion will always be a most difficult one. Laws against abortion don't stop abortion. They simply make it less safe and even fatal. Moreover, I believe it's the woman that needs to make the difficult decision and not the guy. Well, I've had enough of the TSA. I've had enough of these agents constantly stealing from travelers and mistreating children and the elderly. I've had enough of its overall inefficiency and its habitual lies about the safety of naked body scanners. I'll abolish this debacle of an agency if I'm reelected.
You'll never get another cent from me. Your campaign is a disgrace, and it threatens my personal interests.
Well, good evening. Based on our projections regarding various states, we are now in a position to announce the next President of the United States. Coming up next, what you've been waiting for, tonight's election results. We'll now be bringing you live coverage from the campaign headquarters of the next President of the United States to hear their first public speech.
My fellow Americans, it is with great emotion that I stand before you now. They said we would never win, and look where we stand today. It's thanks to your faithfulness, your generosity, and your commitment to our cause that we celebrate tonight. This historic victory belongs to all of us, but most of all to each and every one of you. My thoughts also go to my family, who have always supported me throughout my career, and particularly in recent weeks, which, as you know, were very trying. I want to tell you, my fellow Americans, how much I am aware of the great responsibilities that I will take on as your next president. The American people have chosen me because of the great vision that I have for our country, and for us, greatness is possible. Thank you once again. God bless you all.
Members of Congress, I have the high honor and the distinct privilege to present you the President of the United States.